you've been doing it your whole life. The investment, the commitment, the follow through. When you decided something mattered, your career, your children, your community, your ministry, you did not dabble. There was no hesitation. You went all in. You showed up early, stayed late, gave what it cost you, and called it love. You know how to invest. Nobody has to teach you that. And somewhere in the middle of it all, in the middle of all that investing, you realize you had never once done it for yourself. Not really. Not at the level you gave everything else. Not a spa day, not a vacation, not a moment to breathe before getting back to the list. The real investment, the internal work, the spiritual work, the quiet, unglamorous, nobody sees it commitment to your own soul. You have been circling on autopilot, present everywhere, fully inhabiting nowhere. And when you finally tried to pause, to choose, to be somewhere for yourself instead of for everyone else, guilt showed up like you had committed a crime. That guilt, the one that arrives the second you stop absorbing and pushing ahead in spite of, that is what we're sitting with today. Welcome back to episode 150 of Below the Circle. I'm Dr. Phyllis, your life landing coach. And if you are a woman who has invested in everything and everyone except the one thing that is most urgently yours, this episode is for you. In episode 149, we talked about the breath, the split second between the answer and the ask. You learn the difference between choosing and reacting. And you got one tool for your toolkit. Before you answer, take one breath. But nobody told you what to do when the guilt comes after the breath. So that's where we're going today. I want to speak directly to something before we go anywhere else. You are a woman who knows what investment looks like. You have done it in every direction. You've poured into your work until it grew. You've poured into your children, your marriage, your friendships, your faith community. You've been the first one there and the last one to leave. You have given what it cost you. And you did not keep score because that is not who you are. You did not learn that by accident. You chose it. You made the investment because you could see what it would become. You believed in the outcome. You trusted the work. And I need to ask you something gently. And I need you to sit with it before you answer. When did you last make that same kind of investment in yourself? Not a trip, not a massage, not a morning routine you manage for 11 days. I mean, the real thing, the inner work, the spiritual and emotional investment with God that is just as real as every other commitment you have ever honored. Because here's what I see: you have been living your life on the outside. Full plate, full calendar, full rooms, present at every table, and quietly, slowly becoming absent from your own. You have been doing your life, but you have not been in it. And the moment you tried, the moment you paused, the moment you thought about choosing yourself, guilt showed up. Fast, loud, certain. That guilt is what we need to understand. Now, I want to introduce you to something today, a distinction that is going to change how you relate to guilt, probably for the rest of your life. There are two kinds of guilt, and they feel exactly the same. That's the problem. Guilt type number one, the signal that points to repair. This guilt shows up when you have done something that genuinely violated your own values. You said something unkind, you broke a commitment, you acted out of alignment with who you want to be. This type of guilt is useful. It points you towards something, an apology, a repair, a correction. When you listen to it and act, it releases. Then there's guilt type number two, in which the alarm system going off is going off for the wrong reason. This guilt shows up when you do something new, when you pause instead of absorbing your feelings and pushing forward in spite of, when you choose instead of react, when you invest in yourself instead of pouring it outward automatically. This guilt does not point toward repair. It points toward the discomfort of growth. And when you obey it, when you walk it back, undo the pause, undo the choice, the guilt does not actually leave. It just gets quieter until the next time. Here's the challenge. The woman who has been managing everyone else's emotional climate for years, her nervous system cannot tell the difference between the two types of guilt. Her nervous system has been trained to treat both the same. Someone is uncomfortable, fix it. Someone looks hurt, absorb it. Someone needed something, say yes. That training served you. It kept relationships intact. It made you the woman people could count on. And it also cost you something quietly over time. And it cost you your own presence in your own life. Please know, you are not broken. You are a woman whose alarm system has become calibrated to everyone else's comfort. And now you are learning to recalibrate it toward your own soul. The question that helps you tell the difference: did I do something wrong, or did I do something different? Wrong points to repair. Different points to growth. Same feeling, different instruction. Your job is not to feel your way to the decision. Your job is to ask the question and choose your way toward the feeling. Let me say that again. Your job is not to feel your way to the decision. Your job is to ask the question and choose your way through the feeling. Now, I want to share something with you, because I didn't just study what we're talking about today. I lived it. There was a season in my own life when I sat down and really looked at the life I had been building, the career, the ministry, the relationships, the reputation. And what I saw was this: I knew how to invest in everything that would show a return I could point to. I invested where the results were visible. But my inner life, my spiritual and emotional work with God, I was performing it. I was doing for God without being with God. I was in the room, but not in the room. Busy in his name and quietly growing farther from his presence. And my worth, my value, my sense of identity, it was all attached to what I could do, to my performance, to how much I could carry. The more helpful I was, the more appreciated I felt. The more appreciated I was, the more included I became. I was known by my availability. People had been telling me for years how resilient I was, and I started wearing it. Resilience became my badge. It became how I was known. And to say no, to pause, to finally turn that investment inward felt like handing the badge back, like admitting I was not who they thought I was. That was not love. That was performance with a loving face on it. When I finally started to make the internal investment, not a retreat, not a self-care program, the actual spiritual and emotional work with God, the guilt that came was enormous. It felt like I had abandoned people, like I was doing something wrong. But here's what I know now. I had not done something wrong. I had done something different. I had finally aimed the same commitment I had given everyone else at myself, at my soul, at the life God had for me, not just the one I was performing. I want to say something directly to the woman who keeps putting off the internal work. You are waiting for the right season, when the kids are older, when work calms down, when you have more time, more margin, more energy, when you've earned the right to slow down and finally do this. Sis, that season is not coming on its own. The clearance does not come from the calendar. It comes from a choice. You have been an investor your whole life. You know what it means to commit before you feel ready. You know what it means to give what it costs and trust the outcome. You have done it for everyone and everything in your life that mattered to you. What if you finally did it for you? Not because you've earned it, not because your obligations have released you, but because your life, the one God placed you in, the one He designed you for, requires your presence. And you cannot be present in your life if you are circling on autopilot above it. In the New American Standard Bible, Galatians 6:5 says, "For each one shall carry his own load." You have been carrying everyone else's load as a form of love. And you have a beautiful heart. But here is what that scripture is saying. Sometimes the most loving, most generous, most present thing you can do is let someone carry what was always theirs to carry. So you can finally pick up what was always yours. And from the same translation, Psalm 46:10 reads, "Cease striving and know that I am God." The striving was never just the work, it was the managing, the absorbing, the performing, the circling on autopilot above the life you have always been meant to inhabit. So cease striving, be still, and know. The clearance was already given. God has already cleared you. You don't have to earn your way back into your own life. You just have to choose to land in it. Here is your check-in tool for this week. Use it the next time guilt shows up after you've paused, after you chose, after you made even the smallest investment in your own inner life. Ask yourself, question 1, did I do something that violated my own values? Question 2, or did I just let someone carry what was theirs and start carrying what is mine? If the answer to question number 1 is no, the guilt is an alarm system, not a verdict. You do not have to obey it. You can feel it, you can let it sit with you, and you can choose anyway. That's not callousness. That's discernment. If you are making a choice and it does not violate your values, and you are allowing someone to carry what is theirs to carry, that's not callousness. That's discernment. And discernment is what landing looks like. Remember, you're not here to feel your way to every decision. You're here to choose and let your feelings catch up to the woman you are becoming. Before I let you go, I want to say something to you. If you have been putting off the internal work, I know you and I see you. You have given everything to every investment that mattered. You've been faithful to everything and everyone. What I want for you, what I believe God wants for you, is to be as faithful to your own soul as you have been to everything else. Not instead of your obligations, not after they release you, now, while you are still in the middle of your life. Because your life is happening right now, not after the next season, right now. And you deserve to be in it, not circling above it. You didn't do something wrong, sis. You did something different. And different is how landing begins. Nothing has been wasted, not the years of yes, not the absorbed discomfort, not the managed rooms. God has been in the middle of it all, working, holding, preparing. You are not too late. The ground is solid and it will hold. And I'm on it, waiting, watching, ready to guide you in. If today's episode resonated with you, share it with one woman who needs it, the one who's already on your mind. And if you are ready for your next step, the guide is waiting for you. It's called What's Yours to Carry and What Isn't. It's at thebelowthecircle.com. It's the first act of starting your own landing plan. And again, it's at thebelowthecircle.com. I'll see you next week. And remember, until then, sis, stop circling, start landing. I'm Dr. Phyllis, your landing coach. See you next week. Bye for now.